Hello, 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 wonder people. This is Dr. Nicole. Welcome back to day 10 of our Practicing Positivity, the 100-day journey. So, listen, if you are as excited about this as I am, I don't know what it is about the numbers that end with zero, but it just feels like this is a milestone moment. We're a tenth of the way through our 100-day adventure. So, listen, let me just kind of let you know who I am and where you've landed. For those of you that are new, I'm Dr. Nicole. Listen, I'm your guide at your side, your partner in possibility, your positivity champion. I am your rise and ride. So, welcome. Welcome to the studio. So, here's what we do in this Practicing Positivity, the studio. You see, I've got my work apron on, ready to create, ready to go to work, ready to get my hands into something. And what we're getting our hands into and our heart into, more importantly, and some mind work, getting that frontal lobe into as well, is what you see at the base of your screen. This is a shared learning lab, a dynamic exchange of not just information, but transformation. And here's what we're going to work on: building an ongoing practice of nurturing, cultivating, collecting, putting together, creating those kinds of practices, processes, ways of showing up and moving in the world that give us energy, vitality, and a zest for life. And what we mean by that here in the studio is living in a way that gives us a sense of a lived, palpable sense of love, inspiration that's kind of present and flowing through each and every moment and circumstance and situation, a sense of freedom that allows us to have spaciousness, even in those moments where it's stressful, uncertain, or even overwhelm is kind of encroaching over our left or right shoulder, all taken together to create an extraordinary, exceptional experience called life. So that's what we do here. That's what we go to work on here. That's why we put the apron on. And this is what we dig our hands into, our head into, and put our heart into here in the studio. So what I'm going to do, as you all know, I'm going to encourage you to grab a pen, pencil, something to write with, something to write on, a notebook, anything, if you just are kind of grabbing a sheet of paper. So just wanting you to have a way to capture anything that resonates for you, anything that feels, as a mentor of mine shared with me in my very first appreciative inquiry workshop way back in 2008. She said, we're looking for sticky things, things that kind of stick in the mind, like a good jingle, something that sticks, but in a good way. It makes you feel good when you reflect on it. So, want you to have a way to capture that as we move into today's practice. Now, remember, we are kind of working on a certain formula here. So, we're going back to our typical formula of our 100-day journey of practicing positivity, and that's sharing a little bit of insight, giving you a little bit of something to practice, something to work with so that you can apply that insight in a way that feels natural, or that you could at least practice it, right? So that you begin to own it. It begins to be a natural expression for you, not how I do it, not how I say it, but what's natural and feels like you. And then, of course, what we like to build in here in the studio is also that beautiful restorative pause. So now that you kind of have a sense of how we do things around here, I want to kind of jump into our insight for today. And for today, because it's day 10, I have a gift. Have a gift for you all. Now, I'm working on a number of things to kind of keep our 100-day journey interesting, keep us focused on this goal of, right, practicing positivity so that we can increase our capacity, expand our facility, and just Mastery, I don't know that we ever get to a point where we master positivity, but I do believe we can get to a point of awareness and a point of wisdom and to a place of flow with it. So, where it's natural and where it's easeful. So, I have a lot of things that I am cooking up for you guys. For today, I have something that I want us to work on, and I want you to write this one down. It's all about the love today. So as we are celebrating or recognizing that we've come 10 days of practicing positivity, taking this moment where we can just bring our focus, bring our full awareness, bring our heart to a practice of positivity. Here's what I have for you. It's all about the love. So today, as I was preparing for you all, I just was really thinking about the power and the courage that it takes to, when you see someone who has something special, or they've done something that you really admire, or they've done something, said something, maybe they've created something that's inspired you. In our hectic pace, that moment of slowing down to recognize something special has happened here. B, I also recognize I'm in the presence of a creator that's done something that has positively impacted me. It's resonating with me. Some people say it gives me goosebumps, or gosh, it just made me, I just relaxed into it. When I was just listening to that song or listening to this person speak, I just found myself kind of, my shoulders dropping a little bit, or I felt a smile come across my face. So I'm able to notice not just something special's happening here, not just that I'm in the presence of a creator, somebody who could create such things. And I'm noticing the impact that is having, not just in what I think about it, but maybe I'm even noticing the impact that it's having, that it's resonating in and through my body. And maybe that's what I notice first. And in our world where there's always something else to do, there's something, I know for me, there's some place else to be, there's something else to do. I forgot to send that email, or I have to return that phone call, or I have to, make sure I make this deadline, or this lifeline, as one of my favorite happiness researchers likes to say, instead of a deadline, a lifeline. So, with so much going on, it can feel like you just don't take the time to stop, pause, and to let someone know, hey, you did something, you gave me a gift. So, to that end, I want to talk with you, and this is what I've created for you, is a little gift, a little cheat sheet to remind you to take that pause, take that moment to notice for yourself the positive impact that it's having on you when you see something that inspires you, that resonates with you, that gives you a lift, puts some pep in your step, or just has your heart smile. But then also to encourage you to take that next step, to tell somebody, to tell that person, even if maybe it's a book that you've been reading over and over and over again, and it has been something that you have referenced over and over and over again, and it's positively impacted how you do something to the point where it's allowed you to better serve someone else. So, for an example, I had a mentor of mine who, she didn't know she was mentoring me, but I read just about every book that she's written on appreciative inquiry and have all kinds of notes in the margins and tabs. Well, in the pandemic, I was going to stretch myself and take a big leap, and pitch a proposal to a client that was a little bit beyond me, but it was just enough to be exciting. So it was within reach, but it was also scary enough where I felt like, man, I need to talk to somebody who knows this inside and out, who could help me see around corners and make sure that I'm serving my client at a level that will make a positive impact for them. And sure enough, I called her on the phone and just let her know, first of all, what a fangirl I was. Second, that I loved her work and how she had been mentoring. And, I'd been under her tutelage for years, unbeknownst to her, and how much I appreciated her clarity and the ways in which she made this accessible by taking the time to put it in those pages so that I could get to it. So, what I've called it is a show some love, share some love campaign. And this is what I have created for you all is a like we always say, you want to come and I have these tips and tricks and some things for you that you can find, excuse me while I find my right banner, practices that you can carry and take with you. So as you can see here, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for you. As you can see here, this is your way to get positivity powered. Show some love, share some love. First of all, just set an intention to consciously practice positivity every day. Look for something new each day. You're not looking to revisit the same thing over and over again. You're telling your brain, listen, be on swivel and be looking for things that we can celebrate or appreciate another person for. And then, of course, lastly, noticing the impact of that action or this practice of this particular practice of positivity. Notice the impact that it has on you in the moment of sharing, and notice how long does that effect last for you. So that's kind of the overarching guidepost. And what you'll see on the right, show some love, share some loves. Listen, I've given you a little bit of why this matters, what you get out of it. This is a 3-in-1 gift. This show some love, share some love, right? So you're strengthening your brain's ability. You're kind of putting the operating system to run constantly, where it's not just looking for what do I need to be afraid of for survival, but what is there to celebrate? What is there to appreciate? What's making me feel good? Or how am I elevating another so that they feel good as well? And then, of course, the positive impact on your own neurobiology that has with that flood of oxytocin that really helps to solidify our connection. And then thirdly, you fortify, again, those positive connections, which is, check this out, you guys, these positive connections having this flood of dopamine and oxytocin and serotonin, that's not just to feel good. Listen, those things open up the possibilities for us to have extraordinary performance, be more creative, be resilient in times of despair and hardship. Sometimes we need that little extra to lift us up. And it's accessible inside of not only us being able to see good things about ourselves, but being able to see good things about someone else and share it. So that's the piece that I wanted to share with you all on this 10th day of our 100-day challenge. So with that, here's what I would love to do. I want to just take a moment, have you take a second, and as you are thinking about the power of being able to show some love and share some love, to have an impact on the people around you, just take a moment and just think about when you have had an experience when someone shared something with you about you that had a positive impact on them. Just take a second. Think of an experience when you've had a positive impact on someone, maybe unbeknownst to you, and they took the time to write you a text, leave you a voicemail, maybe even left you a little Post-it note at your desk, or maybe one of your kids left it on the refrigerator. Remember that feeling of being seen. Remember that feeling of knowing, wow, I've just put a little bit of joy in someone's day. Or vice versa. Not only is somebody else acknowledging you, but you have taken that vulnerable, courageous step of sharing with another person how they've done something for you, and that you get to give them that gift of being seen. of being honored and appreciated. So, with that pen that you have and that paper, I'm going to encourage you to just take a second and think about that experience. Just need one. You don't need 15. You don't need to write down 35 different examples of this. Just one will do. Just take a nice deep breath. And as you're breathing in, just take yourself back to that moment of when you were either able to acknowledge someone and you really got it over there. You really had them feel authentically just how much you appreciated them. Or vice versa, when someone was able to give you that gift. And just jot yourself a little memory of that. And put a nice book in there so you can remember that experience. And here's the next level that I want to encourage you with. Take a moment. Don't get up from this place. If you're listening to this in your car or on the subway or in an Uber or a Lyft, just take a second and think about that moment that you've seen where somebody else has just given you such a great gift and you could appreciate them. Don't leave this moment without giving them or sending them that encouragement. So take a second, let them know, share some love, show some love. Let them know what they've meant to you, what they've given you that's made a difference for you. So here we are. That's day 10. I have put a link in the description below so that you can get access to this freebie, this worksheet, the Show Some Love, Share Some Love worksheet. So go ahead, click on that link, download it so you'll have a cheat sheet, download it on your phone just to remind you to show some love and share some love. So as we head out, I am looking forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our 100-day journey of practicing positivity. Hey, don't forget, remember to like, subscribe, and share. If these posts are just giving you some good food for thought, manna for your soul, or just a smile every so often, hey, like and subscribe. That really helps us out. And then, of course, you always know where you can always find me at tgcconsultinginc.com. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow with some more practicing positivity goodness. Be well.